Hey everybody, it's BJ.
And Patrick.
And we're back talking all things real estate. And, we are putting out more and more content. We were just talking about this, that going into 2025 now, we are 2024.
Which will be 2025 after we're all done all this.
Right? But we are aiming to start with 3 episodes a week. So just encourage you to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything that we have coming up. And we want to thank all the subscribers that are with us already and are supporting us. And our goal is to get to 500 subscribers. So help us get there. And also, if there's people you think that would, get some value from what we talk about, let them know. And let's get on with it.
So if you want to keep up to date with all the real estate changes, subscribe, because we like talking about those things.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking about buying or selling real estate in the Victoria area, Southern Vancouver Island, then we'd be happy to help you with that. But in this episode, we are talking about
assessed versus true value of a property.
The property. So in January, every January, as homeowners, we're getting that letter from our BC assessment to tell us, how much are we going to be paying property taxes in about 6 months for July 1st. So we want to talk about what are the differences. Are they the same?
They are not.
They're not the same.
So for one thing, maybe let's start with this. What is the assessed value of your home? What is that you're going to get this in January?
Yeah. So from the BC assessment, they're evaluating the whatever. They're coming up with a number to say this is what your home is worth based on the previous year's numbers. So they would have an algorithm. They're not evaluating 50,000 houses in a metropolitan. They're using a computer to do this. They're using basically a multiplier from its original value and guessing, applying every year the approximate increased value to the original value, right, all the way up to whatever today is. And then the city will take that number and they have their own multiplier to determine how much money do they need for their city's budget.
Right.
And then they'll spread it out all over the residential and commercial properties. Right.
That's a long way to say.
So it's a lot like computers and rounding,
right,
to give you an estimated idea of what if you're getting the letter today, in January, it's the value 6 months ago.
That's correct.
Approximately,
around
is what they're going
around
for.
The end of June, start of July of last year is what that assessed value reflects.
So they're trying to come up with what the market value was then, but they've never. They sit in their nice offices. They haven't seen your house. They don't necessarily know if the view has changed, if something's been built up in front of you. Yeah. Like with the missing middle housing plan now for BC, do they know that there's a 4-plex now beside you, or a 6-plex, or an apartment building that's changed?
Yeah.
So they're not really looking at all of the aspects. They don't know if you renovated your kitchen. They don't know,
and realistically,
what kind of things that you've done. They don't actually know how you compare to other houses that might be for sale.
Right. And realistically, if you've renovated your kitchen, the last thing you want to do is call the tax authority to say, hey, I did a whole bunch of work on my house. It's more amazing than it's ever been. And I think it's at a better value now. So it's worth more now. So you guys need to come and reassess my home because I'd like to pay more taxes.
There is an argument to that if you want your assessed value to go up.
Right.
If you're listing your property soon. If you're thinking about listing this spring,
right,
and you want to contest that your value is higher,
sure,
you could do that. And
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, they don't tend to change their minds.
Well, I was going to say, except now we come to now we come to the payoff. So here's the reality of what happens when someone comes to look at what their house is worth in the market. Okay. What your home is worth, or a home is worth in the market, is based on what other similar homes in the market in the area have sold for.
Most recently.
That's correct.
Not necessarily 6 months ago. It depends on the market.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I've got a buyer question. I get this question all the time. Well, the assessment value is this, and their asking price is whatever, 50,000, 100,000. It's higher. Why would I pay more than the assessed value? It says the assessed value is this much.
Yeah, and we're, at that point, and I've had buyers ask me the same
I know,
question.
it's so common.
And
Yep.
and basically the conversation I have with them is the conversation we're having with you all right now, is to explain to them how they arrive at that assessed value. And the true value of a home or a property is what someone in the market is willing to pay for that property. So we can determine that to some degree, or speculate what that might be based on previous trends and what's happening in the
Yes.
immediate neighborhood, in the immediate time frame that we're dealing with, and with similar homes. So they've done the same updates or similar square footage, all of these things, and they all go into the equation of what a home is worth.
So in reverse, what if the house is asking less than the assessed value?
Comes back to the same thing. What was the market doing last July versus what it's doing right now? Now, we saw this last year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Where all the assessments came out and they were like up here because they were from the year before, and we'd seen
And then we
it
started
drop
hitting
off.
those interest rates coming
Right.
in and started driving prices down
Right.
a little bit. Yep.
Right. So, it can go either way as far as up or down in terms of the assessed value and the market value. Sometimes they could be the same.
Yep. Yeah. Right. Like if it was assessed too high, assessed too low, or assessed and maybe the values haven't changed in 6 months or
Right.
8 months or whatever. That's possible. The other one is there any correlation between assessed value and the sale price or the asking price? I've seen people say, oh, well, everything's selling for X amount of dollars over assessed price. Now that's a very generic statement.
Yeah.
Because even if that was true, like a single family detached home that's built in the last 10 years and they're all selling for X amount over, X amount under than the assessed value, well, that same correlation wouldn't work for townhouses, condos, different price range, different product, different everything, right? So I've seen that, but this is my generalization of the assessed value to the sale value. It could be within 20%. Sometimes it's been way off, but I would say somewhere within 20% is probably the window.
Yeah.
But you have to look at every individual property separately to determine wait a minute, this is way over assessed. I cannot use this to even give me a guideline.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And sometimes you see where in an ad they'll say under assessed value.
Oh, I'm glad you brought this up. Right. The perception of that is still out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, look at this. It's going to be such a great value when they're buying this home at this price because it's under the assessed value.
So you're going to perceive that this must be a good deal.
Right.
Right. When maybe it's just over assessed. Or the market, like you said, is higher in June than it is today.
And it can,
or July.
Here's the thing. You can be under the assessed value, but still above what it's worth in the market.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Because again, what determines the price of your home or of a home is what the market will bear. And that's based on recent sales. That's based on recent sales of similar homes in the area. And we could expand out and go a little bit further back in time if we have to. But we can also use, and this part is a little bit of an inexact science, but we can use an index to prorate the price from 6 months ago to today in that area.
Yeah, that gives us another tool to show us another sign of the home price index gives you the average price of the average home.
Right.
So you have to determine what's the average home first, and how do you compare to the average home, and is that number late? Because the reporting it's not in real time, so it's a little bit late. So we have to take in all of these considerations to come up with a value.
Yeah.
So an accurate value. And even then, the market can change on you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So The assessed value really comes down to this. It's all about taxes.
Property taxes.
Yeah, it's all about what you're going to pay in taxes. That's what the assessed value is. The true value of your home is what the market will bear. In other words, what somebody is prepared to pay. I think that's just it.
Yeah.
In a
nutshell.
right?
Great. So if you do have any questions or any further questions about real estate, especially if you're thinking about selling or buying real estate in the Greater Victoria area, Southern Vancouver Island, then we'd be very happy to help you with that. Our contact information is in the listing description, in the description below. And and I have a form there to fill out that if you're interested in looking at listings to be sent to you, and we could do that as well.
It's a great time going forward in the new year about looking for a home. If that's what you're prepared to do, it's a great time.
Awesome. All right. Well, look forward to speaking with you. We'll see you in the next video.
See ya.